We weren't getting ads anyway. All gas, no break. Welcome to the show. Chris, Justin, and Mo. This is episode 123 of the All Gas era, which is now, basically it's officially over pretty much because whether you like it or not, the New York Jets have hired Aaron Glenn to be the next head coach of the franchise. I know.
Yeah.
I know that we have some. I know how I feel about this, and I know how Mo feels about it. But I want to know how Justin feels about this.
Well, I like the fact that it's somewhat homegrown. He understands the organization and he knows the bullshit of Woody, so that's a good thing. But can he actually holy shit, that wasn't fucking English. Could he actually manage the team around Woody? I don't know. Like, it's to me, you gotta appease Woody to get what you want done. He could possibly do that, and that's good. He's also defensive orientated, so I don't look at that as a plus or minus. It's just not what I wanted.
Right.
But it may also retain some players that we may lose, or we may have thought that we're going to lose. So that's also a plus.
Yeah, DJ Reed seemed to like the hire a lot.
Yeah, I hope Sauce does, because even with all his bullshit, yeah, I was arguing for Sauce a couple of pods ago, but
yeah,
Sauce has to get
all right.
right.
Here's the realization, because one, we can't get rid of Sauce. If we do, we have no one.
Exactly. We need to keep Sauce and we need to keep Garrett.
Yeah, we need to.
As much as I don't want to keep Sauce, I'm telling you right now, we are gonna have to keep him.
Yeah.
I also think maybe we were too hard on Sauce earlier in the season. He actually.
I don't hate Sauce. I'll make that clear. I don't hate him at all.
Nah.
He actually ended up having a pretty good season. It wasn't like an all-pro season. It was like a bit of a drop-off, but like all things considered, his coverage numbers and everything were all really good.
But also at the same time, like, I feel like people don't realize, like, cornerback ceilings, because Sauce he probably hit a ceiling in the first 2 years, and then you just felt the regression moment.
Well,
how good do you think Sauce will get?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he hit his ceiling. Is the fact that
you know what you're getting from Sauce.
Yes, we know what we're getting now, but his first 2 seasons, he was rookie, sophomore. Quarterbacks weren't respecting him. They started respecting him his sophomore season. Rookie season, not so much. So yeah, his stats are much higher.
I'd say even as his rookie year went on, teams respected him more and more because he got all of his interceptions like earlier.
Even refs did.
Yeah.
And then they kind of stopped throwing his way.
That's why I feel like his first 2 seasons, well, not the only reason why, but that's one of the reasons why his first 2 seasons were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But as you go on as a fucking quarterback that's known to be like white on rice, you need a defensive coordinator that can scheme you to get the stats that you're capable of.
Yeah, he needs to like impact the game more. Like you could say I'd say
follow the number one wide receiver.
Yeah, and shadow the number one wide receiver. And I think we won't really know this until we start playing again, but I think Aaron Glenn has a lot more balls than Robert Saleh and his staff did. I would say because everyone's kind of comparing Aaron Glenn to Robert Saleh like right off the bat, just because they're a defensive coordinator with no head coaching experience. And I don't think that's fair. I honestly think that's where the similarities end. I think that Glenn has a very different energy to him, and I don't think like Saleh pretty much, Saleh talked up a big game, but at the first sign of adversity, he would curl up in a ball and die. I don't get that vibe from him.
That's definitely a good thing because you can't run a successful team. Granted, I don't know if it's going to be a successful team at all, but you can't do that under Woody without stepping up to Woody, without thinking oh, Woody's just going to fire you. No. I hope Aaron Glenn is saying, Woody, fuck you, honestly, because nothing Woody's done in his entire fucking ownership of the Jets has been beneficial.
No, I mean, I don't know if he's going to say fuck you to Woody, but I think that he will. I don't think he's going to take as much shit from Woody as maybe some of the other coaches we've had have taken from him. I think that,
I'd hope not. I can't guarantee it because he signs his paycheck.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, he does. But I mean, he's like you said, a homegrown kind of coach. I think this is the first coach. This is the first player this is the first person to play for the Jets and then coach for them since some guy from the 60s and 70s who I think that guy only ended up coaching one team. So this can only, we can only assume this will hopefully go better. But
that's what I'm saying. He can navigate Woody. It's not that he has to necessarily stand up to him. He can listen to him. He can.
How the fuck do you know that?
Well, I'm hoping. This is
hope.
I'm hoping he can listen to Woody and just be yeah, no, Woody, I understand. This is what you want. This is come on.
Well, so you think he gives him because he played on the Jets, he gets a special treatment?
No. It's not special treatment. It's handling Woody. Have you never had a boss that just was dumb as shit?
Yeah, but that's exactly why nobody likes coming here.
You just have to tell that boss, all right, this is what's going on, and that's what the boss wants to hear.
I hope he does.
The truth, is different.
I think. I think now the clock's resetting on a new regime. We still need to hire a new GM, by the way. Lance Newmark was.
We're still fucking dysfunctional.
Yeah, it's definitely weird they hired because I thought it was going to be Aaron Glenn and Lance Newmark, but they're and it could still end up being Lance Newmark, but they're going to do a few more interviews. It looks like before they hire a GM.
They should just make Aaron Glenn the GM too.
I mean, I think they're sending a message that this is I think they're sending a message that this is Aaron Glenn's team, basically, if they're hiring him before they hire him. And if they did hire Newmark, then it was going to be it was going to be a package deal. You were doing that to get Glenn. You weren't hiring Aaron Glenn to get Newmark. You were getting Newmark because you wanted Aaron Glenn. I'm talking from the organization's perspective, not necessarily yours or mine.
Yeah, well, that's a given.
Woody's perspective could be, and this is just fucking hypothetical. Woody could be all right, yeah, we're getting Aaron Glenn for XYZ reasons, but I'm a hire general manager that's going to manage Aaron Glenn.
I would hope so, but if you were
the way that Woody wants him managed, so it's still going to be Woody.
That's not that they were going to do the same thing, like what Christopher Johnson had. They're going to report both to the owner.
Yeah, and I think that's stupid as shit.
Well, that's what they're going to do.
That's the problem. That's the only reason. The
main reason. That's the whole dysfunction that I'm talking about.
Yes, but that's a whole dysfunction of the Jets culture. It's from top down. It's Woody.
It's always going to be the owner. On
everything.
Yeah,
it's a Jerry Jones issue.
And
Well, I think
All right.
now that the sports restarted, I think we might get a little bit of a break from the Woody's meddling. I think he might, if it goes the way that the solid Douglas regime went, they had a solid 2 years before Woody put his hand in the jar. So the way I look at it is we have a 2-year window to make sure that we, I don't think it's going to be next year, but the way I look at it is we have a 2-year window to like end this playoff drought before Woody starts like getting impatient and like starts meddling again, and then, but like Aaron Glenn signed a 5-year deal. I'm assuming he gets
5-year deal.
Yeah, it's a 5-year contract. I mean, obviously, if things don't go well, he's not going to be here all 5 years. But
Yeah,
I would hope that we have him all 5 years, and maybe sign a coach to an extension for the first time since Rex Ryan. That might be cool. But the way I see it is we have a 2-year window to end the playoff drought and keep Woody on the sidelines.
You see, my only issue with that thought is that Woody was on the sidelines for those 2 years because everything he was content. He was content with what was going on. It may not have been exactly what he wanted, but he was convinced that it's okay.
Yeah. Well, it was a new regime. He gave them their chance to like turn things around, and for a minute it looked like they were turning things around, and then I think that the meddling didn't really start until the 2022 season ended the way it did with the 6-game losing streak. Because like I think if you would have asked most people at the beginning of 2022, like I think most of them would say like, oh yeah, like a 7-win season would be fine. Like most reasonable people would have been cool with that because like all right, like you're starting to win. Like it's better than winning 2 games or 4 games. You're starting to like move in the right direction. Like the young players that you drafted are like showing. They're showing you something. So you'd feel okay about a 7-win season before it started. But I think the fact that they were actually in a position to like make the playoffs with a 7-4 record and then lost 6 straight games, and I think that's when Woody's meddling started, which started with firing Mike LaFleur. And then, from there, I think like he just every move he made just like made him feel like more and more powerful and just more and more like good.
Like Jerry.
Yeah, like I think he gets a rush from that stuff. So,
he definitely does. And I can't even blame Woody for getting a rush from that shit. Honestly.
So hopefully he got his fix with the last regime. He went haywire nuclear this last year, firing everyone and basically taking over the GM job. And he like I think like because obviously like we were the first team to fire GM. We fired Joe Douglas in November. We still don't have a GM. The Titans hired one of the candidates, Mike Borgonzi, who I would have liked if we hired him. Not saying he was like choice number 1, but
so did I.
If we would have hired him, I would have been happy with that hire. And
I mean, there's still one I like that's out there.
Yeah, there's still some I like that are out there, but like I just don't think we're getting any of them.
No,
but I think that where was I going with this? But like I think the main reason that we fired Joe Douglas was I don't think that Woody wanted to give Joe Douglas or anybody the satisfaction of at the end of the season mutually parting ways, because that's what it would have been like if they waited out to the end of the season. Then Adam Schefter would have tweeted, "Breaking news: Jets and Joe Douglas agree to mutually part ways. Like it's over."
Yeah.
But Woody was like, "Nah, fuck that. Like I'm making sure everyone knows I fired you because like he's just
I don't even knock. Although I do like Joe Douglas, I don't knock Woody putting his balls out there and saying like, yeah, no, this is my decision. No one's gonna run this narrative. I don't knock that at all.
Yeah,
I knock Woody's lack of knowledge of.
Yeah, it's the lack of knowledge, and the fact that it's the lack of knowledge, and the fact that we're so as hard as we try not to be, we're so emotionally attached to this football team.
Oh yeah,
and
Yeah,
his
and
his
his character is just sporadic.
what if
Like
what if
anytime like he feels like he's getting fucked over, he's gonna make a move.
that's
basically this season was like him embarrassing like everyone that embarrassed him. It almost seems like he
yes. But
like
that's Jerry Jones-esque. What if this is just the beginning of Woody become the next Jerry? What if for the
Yeah,
next
but
decade?
Jerry
Next
got 3 Super
decade.
Bowls. That's the only difference.
Yeah, but Jerry also
in like prehistoric times.
that's what spurred Jerry to be
Dinosaurs were still alive when those
that
Super Bowls were won.
type of person.
Pangea is still
Woody,
And there's also another similarity. Both of their children are going to be running the teams.
Yep. Brick.
No, that's honestly, I think Woody's just becoming the next Jerry. In 5 years, people aren't going to talk about how
He's been Jerry Jr. for years.
for years. Yeah,
Except
yeah.
that he was the shitty one.
But
He's
I
been
think he's
Walmart.
going to surpass Jerry, like not in accolades, in how much you control your team.
Do you think he'll? Do you think Woody Johnson will get like a like go on like a radio show weekly? Because Jerry Jones does that. That's something I.
Woody,
That's something I don't
Woody,
see Woody Johnson doing.
No.
He hates
Woody,
talking.
Fuck no.
he stays away from the like that level of publicity
As much as he could until he
yeah.
feels like he needs to go out and say something.
But behind the scenes, he can still do exactly everything that Jerry's doing, and he'll never step in front of the camera and say it. He'll just
What? Yeah, but I feel like you're trying to make it sound like it's a good thing.
no, it's a terrible thing. Hell no, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I want Woody to be like the fucking Chiefs owner. I don't remember his name, but that motherfucker knows.
That's what Hacker. Didn't I bring this up on the podcast? Everybody doesn't know the owners of the teams that are good.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
The Chiefs, yeah, like I think I mentioned it too. Like the Chiefs used to be perceived as having a very bad owner. Like
they always did.
The
they
NFL,
always had a bad, shitty ass team.
Yeah, like the Players Association, like survey they do for like workplace environment and all that shit. Like they had like all the worst grades. They had like an F. Like it was like bad facilities, bad environment, like toxic, like what you name it. And then the only thing that changed it was like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, I'm curious. What made the owner hire Andy Reid? Not saying Andy Reid's a bad fucking coach. No.
Because he was still good.
No. I'm just curious, like what the owner.
I can't tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know, but I'm kind of mad that we didn't.
I think it was a perfect storm. Yeah. Well, yeah, because we
okay.
So here's what I mean by a perfect storm.
We still had Rex, and we had a shitty year that year.
Yeah, that was the year because I think
he wanted to get Travis Kelce.
Yeah, because I think that was the year that we fired Tannenbaum and kept Rex. Was the same year that Andy Reid went.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, Rex.
It was the 2013 season.
Yeah,
Rex wanted Kelce.
Yeah, he did.
Allegedly. But Reid, because Reid was fired by the Eagles after the 2012 season because that season went like that was the year after the Dream Team season, which went poorly, but like the 2012 season went even more poorly. So they fired Andy Reid after like however long he had been there, almost like 20 years, I think. They finally were like, all right, like it's time to go in a different, it's time for change, it's time to go in a different direction. I think it was a perfect storm where the Chiefs had like all these, they had all this cap space, and I think they also had like the number 1 overall pick that year. So I think it was like kind of the ideal scenario for Andy Reid to go there. It's like, all right, like I can, and I think like if we had a higher pick, then we might have been like a more attractive destination to someone like a Ben Johnson or a Liam Cohen or one of those offensive hot shots that that people.
I named myself Untankable. I named myself untakeable this fucking pod because we will never be in a position to get to draft a player that is that game changer.
I forget if you were on the last pod, but I think my display name was born to tank, forced to win.
That's the issue, man. That's the issue. Like I love my Jets. I hate Woody. I just hope Woody has some sense to the extent like you don't know football like most
like
of your
football
fans.
people do. Yeah.
Yes.
Most of the fans know ball more than Woody does. Like Woody was like when Woody had his I wouldn't even call it a press conference, but when Woody Johnson was like ambushed by the media at like the end of after the last game, he was basically like, well, all the networks were picking us, and they paid millions of dollars to have us in 6 primetime games. Like, it's like you couldn't say like, oh, like, we had this great roster,
no one's thinking about networks.
He said that already.
About ratings.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about
that.
That.
He technically did say that. I mean, he did say it was the most talented roster he had ever had at his time as owner, which is also not true. I think.
But I'm sure you heard that from someone else.
The 2010 roster was better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Without doubt. But I'm sure he heard someone say that, and he's just like, "Yeah, this is what I'm going to say when I'm stuck in the corner." Like, have you ever been yourself? Have you ever been in a position where you're talking about something in a group of friends or whatnot, and you don't know shit about it, but you know one highlight?
Yeah,
and that's what you share because
it's like me. It's like me talking about like soccer or something.
Yeah. That's
you guys talk about soccer, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember like when that guy did the backflip goal.
Yes, the spot, 100%. Bicycle kicks are wonderful. They're fucking amazing. Doesn't happen often, but they're well celebrated. That's Woody.
Yeah.
That's Woody. Anything Woody knows about football is what anyone knows about bicycle kicks that actually go in.
Right.
And that's pathetic.
I think we got screwed by the 33rd team.
I think so I wouldn't say we got screwed, but I think that the whole 33rd team thing was a bit of a sham. I don't think we needed the 33rd team.
A bit.
I don't think I don't think we needed the 33rd team to like get to where we were. I think
exactly.
I think it would. The 33rd team would have made more sense if we were doing like something outside the box, like with our hires. Then I think I think that would have.
Also, the 33rd team. What the fuck is that?
It's so it's a media company with Mike Tannenbaum and Rick Spielman of the who used to be the GM of the Vikings, and basically. They were hired by the Jets as consultants to. They're hired by the Jets as consultants.
I knew they were hired. I didn't know they had a company.
Yeah, to lead this.
They had a company.
This whole search.
Oh, come on, man!
And so they call in. So we interviewed like 45 different. Like they actually took their name literally. I think we interviewed like 33 fucking head coaching candidates.
It was 33, actually. GMs and head coaches combined, it was 33.
Yeah, they had 33 interviews. I think they're probably I think they interviewed 33 candidates. And they've actually had more than 33 interviews because now they're doing like second round interviews.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, for whatever specialty
they are getting paid by Woody because each interview is like 50,000 or something.
Oh yeah, they were definitely getting paid like commission per interview.
Yeah, they are.
What's Woody's stake in that company?
Jack
honestly, it's that's just dumb as shit. Honestly,
yeah. I mean, I don't really give a shit. It's not my money, but like, yeah,
no. But Woody doesn't care about his money either. I wouldn't. Yeah. Yo, you can give me $1 billion. I wouldn't give a fuck about what I'm spending my money on for the rest of my life.
If the Jet, I don't think the Jets are worth $1 billion.
Woody picks
Woody
and
is.
chooses. Woody
I
picks and
think they're,
chooses.
I think they're like 5.
Oh yeah. They're worth multiple billions.
Oh yeah, no, more. I'm putting on the low end. I'm putting on the low end. I'm
Oh,
saying
oh,
you give
oh.
me $1 billion, you give me $1 billion. The rest of my life, I'm saying fuck you to anybody who disagrees with me. Because I
I'm
don't
pretty sure
care.
most people would say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that he's going to this company that I'm sure he's invested in, I have no doubt about that. Because there's no in the business world, there's no person that's gonna fucking invest money like that without knowledge of their benefit. So fuck that nigga. Like that's stupid. That's stupid. That's just another way where you're spending money and you're gonna also get money back. It's just how it works, unfortunately. But that's not how you can run a team that can actually make it to the Super Bowl. That can actually get your fans inspired to
Yeah,
to
well,
buy
we got to
tickets
deal
to
with it.
come.
So,
Yeah, we
fucking,
have to deal with
anyways,
it.
all right,
And we're
let's talk
still gonna
about
show up
who
to the games.
Aaron
We're
Glenn's
still
going to
gonna
hire.
show up to the games.
Yeah, so now Aaron
That's
Glenn
what I
needs
hate.
to Aaron Glenn needs to build his staff. I think that's like really step one in determining how this will go is who he's who he's going to bring
Do
in.
we keep Ulbrich?
No, Ulbrich actually went to Atlanta. He's their
Did he?
defense.
Okay.
Yeah, he got a defensive coordinator job, which good for him.
I actually like that. I like that. Atlanta
Yeah,
needs a DC.
Yeah, which good for him because I thought that his head coaching stint was so bad that he was going to have to be like a linebackers coach or something.
Oh, that would have been terrible for him.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it at least didn't. I'm glad that it at least didn't ruin that for him. And shit, even Salah's like getting head coaching interviews. It sounds like Salah's gonna become the next head coach of the Jaguars.
I think Joe Douglas is going to join him too.
I can see it, yeah, because they just fired their
that wouldn't be
GM.
bad.
They just fired their GM today.
Yeah,
But I'm
Trent
looking.
Baalke.
I'm looking now because I saw a tweet earlier that like had like possible. Okay, so here it is. So the following targets are who could be on
Steve Wilkes for
Yeah,
sure.
Steve Wilkes Steve Wilkes could be the
These are
defensive
possible.
coordinator.
These are possible what?
So Steve
Possible
Wilkes.
DCs for the Jets.
Yeah, so Steve Wilkes is possible DC. They're saying apparently there is some interest in Todd Haley, which I would not want that.
No.
Chris Banjo, special teams coach. Former Bears interim head coach Thomas Brown. And apparently Mark Brunell was a name that was mentioned. I don't know if that would be.
I don't know.
I don't know if that was going to be as a quarterbacks coach or as an OC.
Squad at all.
No, it's as an OC.
Honestly, I'd kind of be down with Brunel.
Who's been getting a lot of buzz too. You know who's been getting a lot of buzz? Davis Webb.
Davis Webb.
Yeah, Broncos quarterbacks coach, and he Sean Payton hired him, and he loves him.
That's a glowing.
Yeah, and
I think I don't know. Maybe Sean Payton always called plays, so I don't know. I guess maybe he'd learn under him. I mean, he has this past year, and he was coaching up Bo Nix.
Well, my issue is if you didn't learn from him, you shouldn't be anywhere else. Then just stay there.
But Sean Payton likes him.
Well, Justin, you might like this. Our OC might be,
and Aaron Glenn was under Sean Payton.
It might be a Sean McVay disciple. The Rams tight ends
Sean McKayley
/ pass game coordinator Nick Caley is
Nick Cuban.
that's been a hot name
for OC.
Yeah, for OC.
Sean McVay's tight end. McVay's not a
/ pass game coordinator.
yeah, but he's also not huge on tight ends. Like yes,
they got Higbee.
Yeah, no. Higbee's serviceable. I'd pick him up if I'm like fantasy wise, lower tier. But has he learned from him? Is my issue. Like if he's actually learned from him, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Sean McVay's a fucking great coach. Great coach. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that have learned from him that will never get a chance. So if we can get one that has learned and has had a chance, and he gets a chance and proves it, I'd love it. I would love it. But that's not a guarantee.
No, I mean there's a lot of unknowns and nothing. There's a lot of unknowns and nothing. Nothing's guaranteed. Like
I don't think there's a single hire that we can make right now on the coaching staff that's a guarantee.
No. The Clint Kubiak's been a name that's mentioned.
No, it's never a guarantee. It's a fucking shot in the dark.
Yeah, Josh McCown's name.
There are people you can hire that are guarantees. Just look at Sean Payton.
I think I like Steve Wilkes a lot.
Yeah, I mean the guarantees really aren't. The guarantees are usually not available.
Yeah. With him, it's like the available ones at least, because it doesn't seem like Aaron Glenn wants to call plays. He just wants to have everybody like
no, he shouldn't be.
OC DC just do everything, kind of like Tomlin and Harbaugh do.
Yeah,
I don't mind that. I don't mind that if he has a choice of who he wants to hire. I don't mind that.
Yeah, and still, Steve Wilkes is a good defensive coordinator. He's a beast. He was a head coach at one point, and I like Dennis Allen too. Dennis Allen would have been a good choice also.
Yeah, Ulbrich was a great defensive coordinator before we traded away pieces that we could have fucking used.
Was it really Ulbrich though?
I don't know.
Wait, are you talking about trading away John Franklin Myers?
JFM was good. And goddamn, I can't remember. There's another motherfucker, but also on the offensive side,
Jefferson,
Mekhi Becton looks goddamn good. But
he does look good as a guard for the Eagles.
Yes. As a guard.
Yes. And what were we saying? He should be.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, he's playing for a team that's actually good.
Yeah, with coaches that he actually respects. He wasn't willing to switch positions with the Jets.
But did he get injured?
That
was our biggest problem. Did he get injured with the Eagles?
He's gotten hurt, but nothing.
Yeah, he's gotten nicked up, but nothing.
No, I'm saying you're out for the season.
Serious?
No,
it's his first season there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Has he been out for weeks?
No.
What's the difference then?
He's playing right guard.
Yes.
He's not playing on the MetLife turf.
But he didn't want to play right guard for the Jets.
That's MetLife turf. Terrible. But he didn't want to play right guard for the Jets because the Jets had no one better than him.
He's also not like 300 pounds overweight.
That's been an issue that I feel like we resolved, and then the Eagles got the benefit.
Yeah, like he was like he seemed to get like the whole weight thing under control, and then but he was still, because he actually played all last year. He just kind of he was very inconsistent, committed a lot of penalties, and I think both parties were just like done with each other. Like I think Mekhi was done with the Jets, and I think the Jets coaches were done with Mekhi. I think Mekhi had wanted to get out of there, for a while.
and that's understandable on Makai's aspects because I'm sure Jets faculty were just like, this nigga is just, we can't do anything with him.
Yeah.
And yet you can see what he does with the Eagles. You could literally just have changed the position and he would have been phenomenal. Brees Hall could have been fucking amazing running behind him.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Izzy could have been good running behind him.
our offensive line is like better now. Like our offensive line.
Oh
is
no,
like
better's good.
One of the strengths of the team.
Elite is a whole nother level. And
yeah, well,
that's what Mekhi Becton can do.
Are you saying? Yeah, are you saying like if Mekhi Becton stayed with the Jets and moved to guard, that our line would be elite?
Not elite, better,
a
lot better. No, a lot better. We still have issues. We still have
so
issues.
All right. So what's the weakness in the O line right now?
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's his strength?
Fashanu looks like he's going to be our left tackle for the next decade. I'd say that's a strength.
Yeah, if he chooses to stay with us, because if I was Fashanu, I'd be out.
All right. Well, we got him for at least. Deal. Yeah, he's on his rookie deal, so we got him for at least 5 years. But he looks like a franchise left tackle.
He definitely is. He definitely is.
Joe Tittman, I would say he is a top 10 center in the NFL. He's very good.
Top 10?
Yeah, I'd say top 10.
Okay. All right.
I'd say top 15. But yeah.
Okay. 10 might be a stretch. But
I was gonna give you top 10.
Joe Tittman, he is a good above average center, which is all you need at the center position.
I think the only issue with him is like just calling plays at the line. Yeah. When they do like audibles and stuff.
Yeah. But he's also young. He'll adapt.
Yeah. John Simpson had a very good year. He exceeded my expectations. Morgan Moses, when healthy, very good right tackle. When Morgan Moses is hurt, that is when the offensive line started to show some cracks. And so I guess if you were to point to one weakness, I guess it would be like the other guard. I don't even know who our other guard is.
AVT.
Oh yeah, AVT. Interesting that
AVT. I want to hold on to.
I almost feel like AVT. I mean, I know he's been dealing with injuries and stuff, but I almost feel like he's like not as good as he was.
No, he wasn't. He hasn't been because he started out at left guard and was dominant next to Mekhi Becton.
That was the vision. But you know what? We should have never even drafted Mekhi Becton. It should have been Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, it should have been Tristan Wirfs. And that would have locked up the right side of the line because that's where they both played. But you know, there is someone that's on the free agency block, and that's Jedrick Wills, who I also liked in the 2020 draft over Mekhi. And he in college he played right tackle, but I don't know. I think like he might have just fell off, or maybe he's just in a bad system. There have been like really good O-line players on the Browns, like Bitonio and like Wyatt Teller, but I don't know because they started him at left tackle. And
I got a question for you. If Chubb wasn't injured and they're more reliant on the run game, do you think he would have had a better season?
Nick Chubb?
No, not Chubb. Chubb obviously would have. Yes.
The Browns as a whole?
No, not the Browns as a whole.
You said Nick Chubb, though.
If Chubb wasn't injured and they're more reliant on their run game, like that's the game plan, week in, week out.
So Nick Chubb is playing, is what you're saying?
Yes, Nick Chubb is playing. So it's more run blocking. It's more run blocking over pass blocking.
Right. And well, that's hard to decide because who's the quarterback?
Don't matter if you can run the goddamn ball.
If it's Jameis Winston or Deshaun Watson, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do.
Yeah,
they definitely would have
especially
left.
Watson.
They definitely would have gone from Deshaun to Jameis eventually. But if Nick Chubb was there running the ball with a good running O-line, like Mekhi Becton is easily a better run blocker than a pass blocker. I don't think
Yeah,
you'll disagree there.
Yeah, I would
but
agree
it
with that.
wasn't gonna work here. That's the bottom line
Yeah,
It would
because
have
he was
worked
already
here.
checked out,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. He wasn't
and
willing
that's
to.
why he's playing good now because he knows he's on a good O line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All you gotta do is look at that man's
I
Twitter,
agree.
and you can see that he's like happy. You know, he respects what they have going on in Philly.
He's the only 6'8" O line in the league.
Yeah, and that's wild. that
I think
dude's
like there is no one on that offensive line that's under 6'5" except for the center.
Yeah,
and Jalen's got to throw over him.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
hey,
And he's got
Jordan
hell yeah,
Mailata's 6'9", and then Landon Dickerson's like 6'6",
and he's
and
got
then Cam
Malcolm.
Jurgens is like 6'3", Mekhi Becton's 6'7" or 8", and then Lane Johnson's 6'5".
they're just bodying people. Saquon, I love Saquon, but he's never had a line like this.
Oh
Obviously,
no,
the Giants
no.
line
And you
is
saw how elite he was.
yes. I love it. I love it for him. Truly, I do.
Yeah, so do I.
If there's one thing to take away from this NFL playoffs, it's that you should not let your Italian meme quarterback win you a couple of meaningless games because it'll cost you
100%.
drafting Jaden Daniels, and then you'll make decisions like paying Daniels and letting
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm gonna put a $5 money line bet on Washington winning.
Hell to the football team.
I do think they're gonna win. I just can't bet that high. It's just like I'd put $100 on it with how much I think they're gonna win. I just can't put $100 on a bet. Fuck that.
So you're gonna put
That's
fives on it?
nonsense. I put $5 on it. I'm being frugal. I
Yeah.
put $100 on Saquon getting 100 yards.
Yeah, I think Saquon's over under is Saquon's over under for rushing yards is what do you call it? It's I think it's like 130.5.
130.5. So he's gonna run all of them. But Jaden Daniels and the Redskins, my bad. What are they called now? Commanders?
No, they're the Redskins.
Jaden Daniels and the Redskins know how to score
They might be the
30
R word.
points.
Again.
30 points a game. 30 goddamn points a game. It's
I fucking love him so much.
I want to use another R word.
God damn.
I want to use another R word, but I don't know if it get bleeped out.
Ridiculous?
No, retarded.
Mm.
How good the Redskins offense is to just getting the ball down the field. It's methodical for them.
We don't fuck with that woke bullshit, so you can say whatever the hell you want.
Oh, true. All right. So it's retarded the fact that Jaden Daniels can come in and just pick apart defenses just to get the ball down the field. He'll run the ball anytime he has a chance to. Yes.
You're damn right. He don't care.
The first down. That's Lamar Jackson's issue. Lamar is just thinking, I got to throw the ball. Nigga, what?
Because Lamar thinks too much. That's his problem.
Yes. You're right about that.
Jaden Daniels he's getting coached well.
It's instant. Yeah, 100%. Yes, he is. 100%. Yes, he is.
And on top of it, you know who Jaden Daniels reminds me of?
Oh.
Joe Burrow.
Oh.
LSU.
Yeah.
And, this is one thing I'll say for if you're worried about if you're worried about the fact that Aaron Glenn's decimated defense gave up like 45 points in that loss to the Commanders, before he came to the Jets and took the head coaching job. I will note that current head coach of the Washington Football Commanders, Mr. Dan Quinn, he was a defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, and they gave up 48 points to Jordan Love and the Packers, and he is currently in the NFC Championship game. So I would say
but there is a big difference there. There's a very big difference there.
We have the quarterback. Yes, they got the quarterback. We
absolutely
and
do not.
Is so good.
And but see, and this is my whole thing. They had the second pick overall, and guess who they had? They got Jaden Daniels. We had the second pick overall, and guess what? We picked a fucking asshole.
Yep.
Honestly, the fact that Zach might not even be what Sam Darnold is right now is pathetic.
I wanted to keep Sam Darnold so bad, but
we should have. We didn't have anyone to cultivate him to be the quarterback that he is right now.
No,
I mean, Sam Darnold still fucking choked.
And I don't think.
He does.
Yeah, and I don't think Saleh was going to be the coach, or his staff were going to be the guys to like unlock Sam Darnold or anything.
No,
definitely not.
But I do think. What the fuck happened here? Apparently my camera is unplugged.
Oh, dickhead! But it's the Dickens.
But I do think that. I think that in hindsight, if you kept Darnold, you could have built a better team. But I still think that I understood the process of not keeping Sam Darnold. I get why they didn't keep Darnold.
And I'm glad we didn't.
They kind of needed to reset the clock at quarterback, and Darnold hadn't really shown enough.
But it's terrible the fact that we can't even get one quarterback that looks as efficient as Chad Pennington.
Yeah,
that's pathetic. We were in elementary school when Chad Pennington's coming out here slinging fucking 5-yard dingers.
Yeah, it was like middle school and high school, I think.
It's nonsense.
Yeah, it was.
We drafted him. I think we were in
2002 or 2003.
Yeah, we're all in the same.
07.
We're all in the same grade. I think, school wise, we're all the same age. So, Justin's a year younger, but skipped kindergarten. Yeah. But so we were all in fifth grade, and we were all in fifth grade in 2000 when, or maybe that was fourth grade in 2000 when Pennington got drafted. But he didn't start until 2002, which we were in seventh grade for 2002.
And we've yet to have a quarterback as consistent as Chad Pennington, in my opinion. If y'all know what quarterback we had,
drafted,
drafted,
yeah. The first 11 games of Brett Favre in 2008 was probably the best quarterbacking we ever experienced.
Terrible. But that's what at least I was. I don't know if you all was too, but that's what I was expecting from Aaron. Consistency.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting a lot better from Aaron. It does seem like the dream died when he tore his Achilles in week 1 of 23. The rumors seem to be heating up that with the Aaron Glenn hiring, that Rodgers could be coming back. That seems to be
stupid.
Aaron Glenn allegedly wants Rodgers back.
I mean, he might look at it. He might look at it and say, that, maybe he kind of sees what Jared Goff is, and maybe he thinks that Rodgers at this point in his career can give him similar production to what what to what
Too
he can
old.
get with Jared Goff.
Too
And
old
then
and too
what's the
egotistical.
result though? Like, let's say we go like 9-8 or 8-9, and then he's like, "All right, I'm retiring."
No.
Yeah, it leaves you in a shit space, and I agree. I think that I go back and forth on it, but I think that it's probably better off that we just have a clean break, get all the noise out of the building, all the distractions, no more Pat McAfee
Yeah,
bullshit, no more like the country club attitude that like Rodgers had, like just get all that get all that bullshit like out of the building, like as Aaron, just to quote the great Aaron Rodgers himself, all the bullshit that doesn't have anything to do with winning needs to get out of the building. So get Aaron and his bullshit out and just kind of have a clean break from it all and a fresh start, and have it be like, all right, like this is Aaron Glenn's team. It's not Aaron Rodgers' team. It's not Devontae Adams. It's Aaron Glenn. We had our year of, we had our year where it was like the wild, wild west, where we were like we were a governmentless society where Aaron Rodgers was doing it, whatever the fuck he wanted, like padding up his stats and throwing passes to his buddies and pissing off Garrett Wilson. But you got to put a stop to that now. I think as far as a bridge quarterback goes, Tyrod Taylor's fine.
I'll take Tyrod for next season. 100%.
If and when he inevitably gets hurt, because he is injury prone, at that point, hopefully Jordan Travis is healthy enough. You could give him a look, see if there's anything there. And if there's not, then the 2026 class is pretty loaded with quarterbacks.
But our biggest issue with that is Garrett's definitely leaving. Garrett is one. I have no doubt in my mind, if we don't have a franchise quarterback next season, Garrett's out.
And that's the only player I like on the team.
When do you think? When do you think Garrett leaves? Do you think he requests a trade this offseason, or do you think he plays?
Oh, no, he plays a full season.
I feel like you said this before.
I think he plays a full season. He's Garrett's a man of fucking integrity.
Because this will be year 4. They'll probably pick up his. They're definitely going to pick up his 5th-year option. Like the first thing, whenever we
are they even going to give him a choice?
No. Look, if it's a choice for him, he's leaving. If we franchise or we just take him on for the next, take him on for the option.
Yeah,
he's going to leave after. He's
not going to want to hear 5th-year option. He's going to say, "I want to get paid now."
100%,
or else he's gone.
He deserves he deserves to be.
The first thing the new
he's the only one that didn't congratulate Aaron Glenn becoming the head coach.
Garrett didn't?
Mm-mm.
I don't think Sauce did either.
That's
he didn't, but Sauce don't care.
Sauce is in his own world.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's unfortunate. That's truly some childish shit.
Why? I'd want to leave too. Fuck this team.
No. 100% you want to leave. 100% you want to leave. But if you had any respect for
that might be, it could be, it could be a negotiating tactic. Like, his agent could be in his ear, like, hey, you're not.
Yeah,
I think it's no secret that he's not.
I don't blame him once. I don't blame him at all.
Like, I don't think it's a secret that he's not happy.
No, of course not.
He has patience. He's like, he has integrity and all that, like everything we discussed. But I do think deep down he's not happy. So, maybe his agent's like, hey, don't tweet, like how they say, like, take the team name out of your bio, like when you're trying to play hardball and negotiate for a new contract or negotiate to get what it is that you want. So, maybe there's some of that at play here. And
to me, that's all dumb shit. I'd rather him keep the Jets name on his Twitter and just be vocal, like, hey, Aaron, I have no issues with you. I respect you coming in. I know what you've done in the league. I know what you've fucking accomplished. So I'm going to shake your hand. I'm going to welcome you. But I'm also out if this doesn't work out.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's what I'd
That
prefer.
that sounds like that already happened.
it
Yeah,
didn't.
no, but that didn't
He
happen
was
publicly.
definitely
That didn't
taking
happen
some.
publicly. Publicly, what happened is absolute bullshit. Fuck out of here.
I mean,
It's retarded.
if you
Take your
talk about
name
like,
off Twitter.
Aaron.
Don't give a shit.
Garrett Wilson hasn't like called out Aaron specifically, or like, but like there have
And
been
he's not
moments.
going to. He's not the type of
There,
person to do that.
yeah,
He's
but
going to
there
do it
have been
by
moments in the heat. But there have been moments in the heat of the game where he had blowups on the sideline. He has
See,
made comments to the media about like
that's another thing I think is fucking bullshit.
because the media has asked him about like his lack of targets or stuff like that when Rodgers is like force feeding Devontae and they kind of ask him like, oh, like, or not even like lack of targets but lack of like meaningful targets, because if you look at the number of targets he's getting, people will act like he's being a diva and just wants the ball more, because like if you look at the number of targets he's getting, it looks like an adequate amount. But if you actually watch the games and take everything out of context, you can see the reason why he's pissed. It's not because of the number of targets he's getting. It's because they don't do the basic things necessary to win fucking games.
But
that's why he's mad.
Y'all know how big of a fan of Devontae I am, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I like Devontae too.
I think it's absolute bullshit that Garrett Wilson is taking a backseat. Absolutely.
Yeah, and Garrett Wilson's a better player. It's just that Aaron
he is 100%. He is. He 100%.
It's just that Aaron, it's a clique, and you're either part of the clique or you're not. Is basically
Aaron's like when you're playing Madden or you're playing NCAA and you're like, this is the receiver I want to throw it to.
Nick Harbor, baby.
It doesn't have to be the same receiver, but this is the receiver that you have in mind.
Yeah,
that's how Aaron plays fucking football.
Yeah, he plays like me with South Carolina.
Wait, so you're blaming that on Garrett Wilson and not Aaron Rodgers?
No. I'm saying Garrett. I know there are repercussions to fucking growing your balls and fucking saying to the media, but you got to do it. You got to do it. Fuck what the repercussions are, because he's a talented wide receiver, and there are teams that are going to pay him for what he could do, no matter what. So why is he taking a backseat to Devontae Adams?
We know the reason why.
Yes,
Aaron.
We all know the reason why.
So why is he doing it publicly?
But you don't remember your whole argument that he would learn from Devontae?
No. I do remember that. Because
I don't even think it's a matter of learning from him.
Devontae Adams. I'm a huge fan of Devontae. I still think.
I think it was more a matter of.
This is my whole thing about Justin wanting Devontae Adams on the Jets.
Yes, look. I did when I thought Aaron Rodgers was serviceable. When I thought Aaron Rodgers could actually throw dimes. He can't. And I said that halfway through the season.
He's still throwing some dimes. But he'll just throw fucked up passes at the same time.
You're in the NFL.
It's like we might as well have Jameis Winston.
You're in the yes, exactly. You're in the NFL. You have to be able to throw dimes on a consistent level. And
drive the ball down the field. Which
Baker Mayfield could throw more dimes than Aaron Rodgers.
I've been over that. I've been over this motherfucker for a while.
Is Baker Mayfield a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers in his prime?
He's a better quarterback than Rodgers right now, but no, not in his prime.
Right now, but not Rodgers in his prime.
Right now, if you want Baker Mayfield, you're going to have to hope for
people that are better than Aaron Rodgers in his prime.
A mean run.
Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and Peyton Manning. End of list.
Drew Brees.
I'd take prime Rodgers over prime Brees.
Yeah? I don't know. Drew Brees is pretty fucking wild.
Oh yeah, both were incredible.
No, I would take prime Rodgers over prime Brees.
But prime Brees lasted longer than prime Rodgers.
But Prime Rogers was more effective than Prime Breeze.
It was more effective because he wasn't competed against Prime Brady, Prime Manning. Like,
Now, whose fault is that?
yeah, time. It was time's fault.
All right,
That's it.
I want to talk about something real quick. So let's talk about finished quarterbacks. Not finished in a term of like they're done, but like they've been developed.
Okay.
How many would you say are
Like in the
in the
league,
NFL?
League right now,
Yeah,
starters.
in the league,
Starters.
fully
100%.
developed
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
starters.
Say, I would say most of them. I mean, like
Yeah.
probably,
30 out of
Most
32.
I'd say the only ones right now I'd say aren't fully developed. I mean, Caleb Williams not fully developed.
No.
I would say
okay. All right. Let me rephrase this. Let me
Jaden
rephrase
Daniels.
this. Let me rephrase this. Quarterbacks that don't need to rely on the offensive coordinator.
probably
Oh.
at this point maybe zero. Maybe one. The only one is
And
Patrick.
that's
The
fucking
only one is
pathetic.
Patrick Mahomes. I think every other.
Really? Because I'm thinking Josh Allen's getting up there too.
I don't know, man.
No.
Because Josh Allen was struggling last
Josh
year,
Allen plays
and then
backyard football.
when they
He
switched to Joe
plays
Brady, Josh
backyard football and
Allen
it
got
works.
like way better, and now he's like MVP. I think Josh Allen does rely on offensive coordinators.
He did. He definitely
So
does.
you think
I mean,
he got better?
Yeah, I think
No, he got better.
I think Josh Allen got better after they fired Ken Dorsey and made Joe Brady the OC. Since Joe Brady look at Josh Allen's numbers like last year and like 2022. Look at his numbers then compared to
You just made my argument for Joe Brady to be our head coach.
Yeah, too bad he didn't answer the phone.
Yeah, well, he's still playing in the playoffs right now. That's
Yeah.
why they didn't allow him.
Add Joe Burrow. I'd also add Joe Burrow to that list. It's Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Like you're talking about
I think Lamar relies on
quarterbacks.
OC too.
I know. I like those four.
Lamar has
I
Todd
agree with
Monken.
Justin. Joe Burrow is definitely up there too.
Joe Burrow definitely.
I'd say it's Mahomes and Burrow. Lamar has Todd Monken's system, which is a really good system.
And you still think Josh Allen needs to be developed?
It's a good system.
Not that he needs to be developed, but that he,
that was the whole thing. Which quarterbacks are finished products and don't need to be developed anymore?
You changed the question. First you asked who's fully developed, then you said who doesn't rely on an offensive coordinator. But I think to an extent, they all have some reliance on an offensive coordinator, with the exception of Mahomes.
But I first started off as who is fully developed.
All right. Well, if you're going back to that question, then obviously everyone we just mentioned, I'd say Baker Mayfield's fully developed. I think fully developed doesn't necessarily mean good. Like Baker Mayfield is as good as
your potential. Fully developed.
Yeah, you're fully developed. Like you're as good as you're gonna be. So I would say
Baker's definitely hit that point. He's hit that point.
And
I agree with that.
As he's gonna be. I mean, shit. Joe Burrow might even get better. Who knows?
No, Joe Burrow should. He should. I'm not certain, but he should. Because if he loses Jamar,
he's not.
What is he gonna do?
He's not losing. Jamar.
Yeah, no, he's not gonna.
They're gonna get rid of
tandem. They're gonna be a tandem. If either of them get traded, they'll be traded together. They're a tandem.
Yeah, they're Aaron and Devontae, but
what I said at first, I said, okay, when I asked the question, Hager said there was only one. And I said, who doesn't need an OC? He said, Josh Allen still needs an OC.
He does.
I think he does. I honestly think he does.
Or not that he needs one, but I think there's some variance in how he does.
No, I think he needs one. 100%. I think he needs one because
to still get coached.
Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't even put
it's
Lamar
not
in
to
that
the
category.
extent that like Sam Darnold needs to be coach. It's
Like
not
if you just switch offensive coordinators, this is what I'm saying. It wouldn't make them play different. They'd still play the same and still be dominant.
No. Josh Allen does what Josh Allen does.
I'd say Mahomes and Burrow are the only two.
Okay.
I'm putting Lamar.
That
up
was the
there.
answer I was looking for.
I'm putting Lamar up there too.
I need to see. I wish that I do wish that we could have hired Todd Monken like we should have 5 years ago, and so we could see how Lamar's doing without Todd Monken. Like I need to see because Todd Monken's like one of the best OCs in the league too, and he's got that thing.
Yeah, but he's only been with him for like what 2 years.
Yeah, so maybe you could put Lamar in there, I guess. Although, like, I could see if Tom Monken were to get a head coaching job, like, I could see there being a world where Lamar's. I mean, it's going to be hard for Lamar to replicate the year he had, regardless. And if they give
I don't think so. Because
you think he'll be able to do? You think he'll be able to throw 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions again?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Look, when he got drafted 32nd.
They never draft good receivers.
That's fine. He's shown it's not necessary. My thing about
it might be necessary.
The fact that I wanted to just draft Lamar, the fact that I wanted to just draft Lamar was his fucking mindset. Like Lamar literally at Louisville was like, yeah, everyone thinks I'm a running quarterback. That's all I can do. And he wants to prove everyone fucking wrong, 100%. And what did he do his first season? All he did is fucking run. All he did is run because that's what the that was the game plan.
Yeah, because Harbaugh nerfed the game plan.
Yeah, but you got to understand the first year, it was Joe Flacco still playing, and then he played Lamar in
first full season. He won MVP
in like the last few games. Trying to understand how Lamar plays. So he was trying to adjust to how he plays.
Since he's been drafted, when has he been not vocal about the fact that he is a passing quarterback? Lamar specifically. Fuck anybody else.
He's always said that. I remember like after his first game in 2019, he was like, "Oh yeah, that's not bad for a running back, right?" Like he's always had that chip on his shoulder.
And how many mistakes has he made trying to be only a passing quarterback?
That's usually
a lot.
That's usually when you see him make
a lot, right? Yeah, no, I agree. A lot.
And that's why they lost.
That's why they lost last year.
I think the Bills had
not why they lost this year.
It's also largely Mark Andrews' fault.
Yes. Oh no, it's solely Mark. Solely.
Not solely, because Lamar had a fumble.
Yeah.
But that's not. That's
why are you trying to like tend to fucking fuck ups? You're just trying to make it seem like
100%. No.
He didn't do anything bad. Like he fucked up. Just deal with it.
Yeah, he fucked up.
He did fuck up, but
he's still the best quarterback in the league.
I'm saying his mindset.
That's fine.
As to how he's developing himself as a quarterback has always been progressive. Always. Since the day he's entered the league. Always. So the fact that like, he's not going to be a good passing quarterback, that's wild to me. Wild.
I don't know. None of us said that, but anyways.
Yeah, it was always wild. It was always wild to think that.
He never had a quarterback or a head coach, quarterback coach to develop him.
Yeah, no, he never did. No,
he hasn't.
And yet, look at him.
Yeah, and I think it's total bullshit if Josh Allen wins MVP over Lamar, which it feels like he's going to. I think that's total fucking bullshit. Lamar had a way better season, but he's already got 2, and so they're gonna have like voter fatigue.
Lamar had a better season, but so did Joe.
Well, if Buffalo wins, then you can count that shit out the fucking ground.
MVP is a regular season award, and it's gonna be announced like the weekend before, like a couple days before the Super Bowl. But it seems like all indications are that Josh Allen's going to win it.
Yeah, no. Josh Allen definitely is going to win it. And yes, that has a lot to do with the fact that he's never won it.
I
But
fucking
at the
hate Josh
same
Allen to the
time,
T, but that motherfucker was
look,
tearing it up.
yeah, honestly, at the same time, I don't think there's anyone more valuable to their team than either Josh Allen or Joe Burrow this past season. Because
So
yes,
you're telling me Derrick Henry didn't do shit this year?
no, that you see, that's my issue. We're not talking about Derrick Henry. If we're talking about Derrick Henry getting an MVP, or are we talking about Lamar getting the MVP? Because both of them
he helped a lot.
I think they were equal.
Who's Buffalo's running back? James Cook. He was not as good as Derrick Henry. I can tell you that shit.
Yeah, but that means that Lamar and Derrick were equally valuable to their team, right?
Okay.
So,
but I think Derrick Henry was better than Lamar.
Who was equally valuable to their team for the Bills?
I mean, really, the Ravens should be like unstoppable, and it's
kind
of baffling that they're not.
Should
I like Derrick Henry a lot better than Lamar this year. I'll tell you that right now because Derrick Henry scored a touchdown every single game.
Every single game, I had that motherfucker,
and he was getting like 100 yards every single game.
Yep.
Lamar had 41 touchdown passes to 4 interceptions with and
that's
Mark
amazing.
Andrews, but Mark Andrews who's washed up, Isaiah Likely, who is actually a pretty good tight end, and then like very average wide receivers and like Rashad Bateman and whoever the fuck else they have. So
Zay was injured.
Zay Flowers is good. Well, Zay Flowers is one of those players.
He's Pro Bowl.
Honestly, it's kind of bullshit that Zay Flowers is a Pro Bowler over Garrett Wilson. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers.
I don't think it's bullshit. Yeah. I think it's usage. Zay Flower needs to be used a lot more.
Well, Garrett Wilson
Aaron didn't use Wilson as much as he should have.
Well, Garrett Wilson was underutilized, and Zay Flowers needed to be used more, but Garrett Wilson still had better numbers than Zay Flowers,
which is wild. I do agree with you. Yes,
I think they didn't want any Pro Bowl.
You put Garrett.
I don't
Wilson
want any Jets in the Pro Bowl either.
Yo, you put Garrett Wilson on the Ravens. He's easily a Pro Bowler, easily, without a doubt in my goddamn mind.
If you put Garrett Wilson on the Ravens, I don't know if they lose a game.
Yeah. 100% I agree.
If Garrett Wilson's on that team, they should not lose a game.
I would trade Garrett Wilson for Zay Flowers just to see what Garrett could do with him.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Would you trade Garrett Wilson for
when you see what he could do, I think you'd make you want to kill yourself as a Jets fan.
I want to kill myself for being a Jets fan, yes. But I'd want Garrett Wilson to actually have a quarterback that one fucking respects him.
Yeah, I think Zach Wilson.
Wild, all of Justin's teams are absolute shit.
Respectfully, could not get the ball in his hands adequately.
Yeah, but Lamar could. Yeah,
well, yeah, Lamar.
Right, I have a question for Justin. Who's a better receiver, Garrett Wilson or Puka Nacua?
Garrett.
I think it's Garrett too.
Garrett. Puka's great. Don't get me wrong. Puka can make one of the toughest catches against any cornerback. Don't get me wrong. Puka's fucking phenomenal. Garrett doesn't need to have that issue. Puka will be like, all right, yeah, I can't get that separation. Garrett will get that separation. And he'll get rack.
Okay.
That's why Garrett's better.
He'll get what?
Garrett will still get receiving yards after the catch. Yak.
Oh, okay.
He's got the yak ability.
Honestly, Garrett has hands. He has separation ability. He has route running. Garrett is what we've seen Devontae do. We just
I
haven't
was gonna
seen
say
Garrett
AJ
with
Brown
prime
or
time.
Garrett Wilson.
I'll still
It's
take Garrett. No. There's no question there. AJ Brown should be putting up numbers with that goddamn O line that can protect fucking. Are you kidding? How is AJ Brown not open constantly? How? If you put Garrett Wilson on the Eagles right now, is he not getting minimal 9 catches a game?
he should, but they also run the ball a lot. There
No, that's
are
fine. He can run the
you'll
ball a
never
lot, but
meet people.
I've seen AJ fucking drop shit that he shouldn't drop.
Yeah, Garrett actually looking at the numbers, Garrett is better than AJ Brown.
Garrett's
I'll say that.
easily better.
I'll say that shit with
Garrett's
my
a phenomenal wide receiver, and we're gonna lose him.
like. I
We're
think it's
gonna lose
closer,
him.
but I know Eagles. I know an Eagles fan who thinks that like you'll never meet anyone more delusional than Eagles fans. And it's why I kind of want.
Yeah.
It's why I want them to lose.
That's Philly
Even though
in general.
even though I'll end up rooting for them in the Super Bowl if they play the Bills, is because like I know an Eagles fan who tried to tell me that Devontae Smith was better than Garrett Wilson. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, who do you think Devontae Smith is? Like, I don't understand these people."
That's nonsense. But I'm also betting on the Redskins to beat the Eagles this weekend.
Nice.
I'm betting on that. I believe it's gonna happen. Yeah.
Well, I really don't have any fucking choice but to take the Eagles.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to the before we get to our championship picks, I do want to talk a little bit
Fuck the
about.
picks.
I do want to talk a little. I mean, there's 2 games. It'll take like 5 minutes at tops if everything goes according to plan. Unless
I already got my picks.
Yeah, unless we get Justin on some sort of like 45-minute rant about like I don't know Eric AGNB or something. But
I rather hear it.
but let's. I do want to talk a little bit about.
If you want to talk AGNB, yeah, I still take him as a coach. I don't give a fuck what he's done with UCLA. That's college fucking ball. Get the fuck out of here.
All right.
You want your leader of men? There you go.
Why don't we just
That's
hire the Maryland?
bullshit.
Why don't we just hire the Maryland Terrapins coach that we just interviewed?
Yeah, because that's
why don't we hire?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, let's hire him.
To actually studying behind Andy Reid, where Andy Reid actually consults you for what to do with the offense.
All right. When I said 45 minute tangent about Eric AGNB, I didn't mean actually do it.
Oh no, I definitely would. Are you kidding me? AGNB deserves a chance.
All right,
he deserves a chance.
All right. Well, moving forward, maybe he'll get his chance one day, but
I doubt it.
Yeah. So it's not really worth talking about. But yeah, so we still have a GM position vacant. So I did want to talk a little bit about the GM. What it looks like are the finalists. So it looks like the finalists for the GM are. It looks like it's either Lance Newmark. Is that his name? So it looks like it's either Lance Newmark or the other guy they're interviewing. Or doing a second round interview is Trey Brown. Trey Brown is he is in the Bengals organization, trying to get more information.
That's what I want. An organization that thinks you don't have to protect the quarterback. Let's do that.
Yeah. Well, he's the senior personnel executive with the Cincinnati Bengals. So I think like it appears that these are the 2 finalists. It appears that it's either Lance Newmark or Trey Brown. I believe those are the only.
And then Lance Newmark, who was there on the Lions for 23 years when they sucked ass.
I believe that.
That sounds really good.
I believe
sounds
that,
accurate.
I believe those are the 2 finalists. I don't think anyone else is getting a second round interview. It blows my mind that we're not going to interview like John Dimitrioff again or
Thomas Dimitrioff.
Yeah, Thomas Dimitrioff.
But you do realize, like, these interviews are based off of what Woody wants.
No, it's the 30-13.
It's a combination, I think. Woody has to, Woody has to sign off on whatever the 30-13 suggests. So it looks like these
13. You think they got balls to stand up to Woody? No,
30-13 fucked us.
So it's what Woody wants.
That's always
the 30-13 they just suck Woody's fucking money.
Yes. So it's what Woody wants.
They took him for a ride. For whatever reason, they didn't do that to the Commanders last year. They had a nice, quick, normal interview process.
Probably because the owner's not a dick.
People. Yeah, because the Commanders got a new owner that's like respectable. So looking at these two candidates, so Lance Newmark been with Detroit for 23 years. So he's been part of the turnaround. He's the assistant GM. He also, I think, had a role with the Commanders at one point.
Yeah, he did just now.
In the
he's
16.
He's with the Commanders now.
So he's with the Commanders right now. Yeah, so he's with the Commanders now, and basically, he was with the Lions for 23 years. So he was there for like the Lions turnaround at the end, but he was also there. Yeah, he was also there for 0-16, and the 2 decades where the Lions dumped their fire.
just because it's got Jaden Daniels, I should be like, oh man, you know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, he also
exactly.
Just because you have possibly, I want to jinx it,
he also
possibly one of the better quarterbacks ever. Like, now you know something about football. Now you do.
Yeah, I mean that is a wild claim to make after one.
Now Justin sounds like me.
But Jaden Daniels is having one of the best rookie seasons of all time.
Best in my opinion, because I think they're going to beat the Eagles.
But I don't think Newmark even drafted Jaden Daniels because he's the assistant GM, not the actual GM. And also, even if he did make that pick, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
I would love to know what his pick was. What he
apparently
wanted to pick.
He apparently
he had like a fourth round pick, Grant Glasgow, on the Lions, and I don't know. That's all I know.
He apparently
which was a good pick,
class, though. Like I think it was in like what year was it? I think he had a draft class in like 2000 and like I forget what year, like 2017 maybe, and it was apparently it was really bad.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
So he had a really bad draft class once upon a time. So, I'm not gonna say off the bat like that he would be a terrible hire. But he's not it's kind of underwhelming, not that inspiring. As far as Trey Brown goes, I mean, he's only 39 years old apparently. And he is the senior personnel executive. It seems like, obviously the knock on him would be like the same knock you'd have on a guy like Ryan Grigson, where they just failed. They just neglected the offensive line. It looks like the Jets also planned a second interview. I'm seeing another name now, Darren Mogi.
Yeah.
Broncos.
He's on Denver.
Honestly, now that the more I'm thinking about it, the more I think that Darren Mogi should be the guy. He's also 39 years old, so I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea of hiring like a young GM.
Yes, no, I'm all for hiring a young GM as head coach. However, I'd rather they be offensive oriented because we've already seen what defensive oriented Jets are like, and it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
could you imagine getting a young McVay? I don't know who it would
if
be, but a
if you're
young
talking about
McVay.
GM, if you're talking
That's
about
why. That's
GM,
why I like Hallaby.
Darren Moogie did play. Darren Moogie did play wide receiver, so he does
Okay.
have offensive pedigree as a GM.
Yeah, some sense of it. Come on, but I mean, you're a wide receiver. Your whole fucking game plan is running routes.
All
That's
right.
it.
What do you want him to do? Hire Tom Brady to be the GM?
I honestly, I take Tom Brady. I would. Not gonna lie, I'd take Tom Brady.
Well, he's
Just
he's the
Justin
Raiders
just
owner.
wants to take like wild shots.
Well, yeah. What else do the Jets have? Are we still going to rebuild for what the fucking upteenth year?
Motherfucker, this is why I wanted to get us to hire Josh McCown.
I'd rather Brady over McCown. Would
Brady.
you not? Would
Brady
you
ain't
not
fucking
hire
coaching.
Brady? Oh no, Brady ain't coaching. No. He's got his gig. He's
Well,
got his
McCown.
ownership. He's good. But if you had a choice to hire Brady or McCown as
All
head
right, well,
coach,
this
who
is
do you
my
choose?
theory. All players that actually played good in the NFL suck ass at coaches. And the ones that weren't good end up being good.
Yeah, that's fair. That's 100% fair.
Yeah, I mean McCown was.
That's why I like Davis Webb.
I don't think it's McCown's. It's not McCown's time yet. And I
And we're
think
going to
that
be a year or two behind. I guarantee it.
Year or
so
two.
you're just writing off Aaron Glenn from the start.
No, I'll give him a chance, but I know it's going to be a year or maybe two when Aaron Glenn ends up being the hot candidate and he ends up doing good.
It's gonna be
You
more
mean when
than
Josh
that.
McCown ends
It's
up doing good?
definitely gonna be more than that.
Josh
He
McCown.
may,
That's what I mean.
yeah. Glenn's got a
I
chance.
don't think it's a
Maybe
guarantee that Aaron Glenn is going to do or that Josh McCown is going to do well.
It's not a guarantee, but it's a shot in the dark.
That doesn't even mean it's likely. I mean,
I don't care.
thing is, hey,
I mean,
say we get Aaron Glenn, right? And he's gonna start hiring people 3
We
years
do
down
have
the
Aaron
road.
Glenn.
You're right, 100%. My bad. Oh, we got Aaron Glenn. All right, so he has to have his coaches that are down with his game plan. Say Josh McCown 3 years later is the option. Are you
That's
be a
not gonna
fan?
happen.
You be a
That's not
fan?
gonna
Yeah,
happen.
McCown 3 years later.
What I don't know the situation. I need to know the situation.
Well, the situation is that he needs to fill his staff with people that can be competent to win games.
And you're saying Aaron Glenn's fired?
No, Aaron Glenn, he's got what, a 5-year contract? He's
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
He's still there.
yeah.
He's
So
still there.
assume he gets at least 3 years,
At least 3 years.
unless it turns out to be like Adam Gase levels of bad, but
Of
no,
absolute shit. He's
I
got
don't
3
think
years
I don't think it's gonna
of hoping to get at least
I think he's already gone.
You think Glenn's gone in 3 years?
No, I think McCown's gone.
Yeah, he probably.
someone else hires him.
Yeah, McCown
Okay.
might even end up. We don't even
All
know. McCown might end up being our offensive coordinator, but I think McCown might end up taking the offensive coordinator job like this year and next year, and then like the year after that might be when he becomes a head
I
coach.
think with the Vikings, but because he's been adamant about being the head coach, he doesn't want to be an OC. Just like Glenn.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
the fuck would he think he has the right to
but
be
he
a head
might.
coach
The
right now?
league might be like, hey, the league might say, hey, you can't skip the line.
Which honestly
Why
I think
not?
is somewhat
Andy Reid
bullshit.
did. He went from quarterbacks coach to head coach.
Yeah, but that was way back in the day.
What's the difference now?
Now, social media, you're gonna have a lot of
Yeah.
backlash that owners actually care about.
So everyone's listening to social media. There's the fucking problem right
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, no, 100%. You asked the problem. I told you the problem. Social media, 100%. Because if
What
I
about
was the owner of any of these goddamn teams, are you kidding me? I would be the most fucking talked about head coach while still fucking considering what's the best for the goddamn team. Because I give no fucks about the fans. Fuck out of here. It's about winning. It's about the athletes that are actually playing the damn team, playing the goddamn game. Fuck out of here.
That's the problem.
Fuck
That's the
every
problem
fan.
with that's the
Fuck
problem with the
every
owner
fan.
because he cares about what everybody says.
Yeah, fuck that. That makes no sense to me. First off, it's a business. It's about making money. I make more money if the team wins. Easy
I think
decision.
ultimately,
Two, it's my
I
money.
mean,
Why
oh,
the
shit.
fuck would I want to invest in something that's not going to make me more money than I can fucking possibly you'll make money, but I can make more if I win. Good investment if you win.
so out of the 3 remaining candidates, who would you guys want to hire for GM?
I think they're all doo-doo.
I think Aaron Glenn should be the GM.
Yes.
I think it should be. I think they should hire the Broncos guy. That out of the 3, like I feel like there's just too much bad history with Lance Newmark. Like there's just too much. There's just too much bad to ignore with him.
I think there's too much.
I'm not saying that he couldn't have learned from not saying he couldn't have learned from the past 3 years that he's been with the Lions and the Commanders, but there's just so much preceding that you just can't dismiss.
But how can you say that when if Rex during our heyday?
Why are you talking about Rex Ryan?
Yeah, my
because
God.
because if Rex was the GM as well.
Living in the past still.
No. I'm just saying. If Rex is the
saw
GM as well,
what it was like.
Would our team not have been better? Would our team not have been better if there weren't people saying Rex? No. Would our team not have been better back then? Because the coach actually knows what the team wants.
Depending on what direction head person
it was good until they fired the GM.
But fuck the GM. The GM is just there to make decisions for what the team needs.
GM. It's like the most important, the most important executive position.
No. What's important is what makes the team fucking work together. The GM doesn't give a fuck about that. The GM thinks that he knows what's the best. Fuck out of here. How many GMs have you seen?
What are you talking about?
All right.
What? Like the GM picks?
You don't think the GM has like conversations with the people?
The GM and head coach.
They do.
A functional organization.
They do.
No,
100%.
Work together. They exchange ideas.
And tell me one GM other than Joe Douglas that has actually given a fuck about what the team wanted.
For the Jets or in general?
For the Jets.
Well.
Tell me.
Mike Tannenbaum did a pretty good job with Eric Mangini.
No. That's what Mangini wanted. I'm saying what was beneficial for the team.
Okay.
It's the same fucking question you're asking.
It's really not. It's really not.
If Joe Douglas really gave a fuck about what was beneficial for the team, then
I'm not defending Joe Douglas here. I'm not defending Joe Douglas. I'm saying
why did he trade away John Franklin Myers for free?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Why did he give
top teams? All right, let's talk about GM relationships with the Eagles, the Ravens.
Yeah, Howie Roseman, he's pretty good. Ozzie Newsome.
They're great, right? They're great.
Yeah.
They're great.
Very good.
Fantastic. They're doing what they want to do.
Yes.
Solely on what they want to do.
I'm sure they're working, I'm sure they have conversations with the coaches and other executives. I'm sure they all work together collaboratively to decide together what the best direction is to go in, and maybe the GM has the final say or the final call on who they draft or who they sign and how much they pay them. But I'm sure it's a collaborative effort. So yeah, I don't think, you know, as much as, you know, as much as I like Aaron Glenn, I don't think like, oh, he should have full personnel control as like a first time head coach. Like I think they need a GM, someone.
No. I agree with you there. Not full personnel control. Just the idea of where we're going. Final say.
What do you mean? Like, are you saying who should have the final say?
Yeah.
What?
Who should have the final say? GM or coach?
Probably the GM.
And I think that's stupid.
The GM, it's the GM's job they're the ones that are to draft and evaluate.
And I think that's stupid.
The
you
coach.
think Andy Reid doesn't have final say? Think Jim Harbaugh doesn't have final say?
I don't know. Ozzie Newsom's a pretty good GM.
Yes,
he's not the GM anymore.
Oh wait, no, John. I thought you meant John Harbaugh. My mistake.
Final say. The people that are actually there.
I mean, I think it's different. I think it's different for every situation. No,
it's not different. Yes,
it is though. There's a difference between Andy Reid. There's a difference between Andy Reid making draft picks and like Robert Saleh making draft picks.
Oh yes. No, there is a difference there. Yes, but you'd want to hire someone capable of making the right choice as a head coach, or do you think just a head coach is like, all right, yeah, I'm just here to take on players and you just give me the players?
Well, no, that's not how it should work. In a functional organization, they should work together. The GM should be like, all right, this is what me and my scouts see in these players. Like, here's the tape. Like, who do you think
Tell
fits?
Me how many teams fits
what you want to do?
How many teams operate that way?
Probably the good
and
ones.
and are successful.
Probably, I don't know. Like, I'm not there. I don't know how they operate. This is how I would assume a functional organization would operate. I'm not in the room with them. I can tell you the Giants don't operate that way. The Jets have not operated that way. Never. You know, I can tell you which teams definitely don't operate that way. As far as what teams do, you know,
how many teams would you say do?
Maybe the Chiefs.
Definitely Chiefs.
Ravens.
I
mean, I think
Harbaugh has definitely been in any meeting that's.
I think the Eagles. I don't think Nick Sirianni has. As far as the Eagles go, I don't think Nick Sirianni really has much of a say at all. I think it's all Howie Roseman.
That's a fair assumption. That's fair.
You know, they're in the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
I'm sure. You know, I mean, the Commanders. It's like a new regime, but I'm sure that it's like a collaborative effort with the Commanders. You know, I don't think Dan Quinn's just making draft picks. I'm sure
I think they're too young to tell.
Yeah, it's probably too early to tell like how that organization is going. You know, I mean, the Bills, I'm sure there's some collaboration going on between Sean McDermott and, you know, whoever their GM is.
Bills got rid of Daboll.
Brandon Beane.
I think the Bills are stupid as shit.
What, for getting rid of Daboll?
100%.
Joe Brady's probably better than him.
It almost looks like Brian Daboll didn't even have to develop him. He just has Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, but without Diggs, he's still doing work. I'm not.
And without Diggs, he's not doing work. And without Daboll, he's also still doing work.
Yep, 100%. You're right about that.
And guess what? Daboll apparently was a fucking quarterback whisperer. Guess what? Daniel Jones sucks dick.
Jones.
Daboll. I still think Daboll is probably a good OC, but not cut out to be a head coach. Giants probably should have fired him.
They botched that shit.
I guarantee. I get.
I would have
Well,
been so happy for us to
I
get
actually
Dable
hope the
after.
Giants do fire him because I'm certain he'll go to another team and they'll be phenomenal. Dable's a
Yeah,
good coach.
us.
Dable?
Dable's a good fucking coach.
I don't know, man.
It's absurd. Y'all don't think that. In my opinion,
I didn't.
it's
I didn't
absurd.
say
Y'all
that.
don't think that.
I didn't say that.
I don't think he's a good head coach. I think his record
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
sucks.
I think he's a very good head coach.
head coach. No,
That's
maybe
my
like
opinion. That's my
pass
opinion.
If he's
game
a very good
coordinator.
head coach. I mean, if he's a very good head coach, why are the Giants terrible? Is it just all devoid of talent, or like what do you attribute that to? I wish Paul was here.
Lack of personnel.
What do you think he does to? What do you think he does to overcome the lack of personnel?
The fact that they've been in they've taken multiple games to the fourth quarter is ridiculous. The Giants should be the worst team in the entire league. They should
They
tell me
will be next year.
no. Oh yeah, definitely. Tell me a team worse than the Giants personnel wise. Personnel wise. Tell me a team worse than the Giants.
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, the Browns are pretty bad.
Personnel
Yep.
wise,
Yeah,
Titans are pretty
Browns are
bad.
pretty bad.
Titans,
But then the Browns also had Jameis Winston win some games.
Titans.
Okay,
Titans.
the Giants have had Tommy DeVito win games for them.
Yeah.
Which they never did.
Under Dable. Under Dable. Tell
Okay.
me a single team in the entire NFL
Uh,
worse than the Giants.
We just told you the
I
Browns,
just told you the Titans.
All right,
Titans.
Browns and Titans.
Uh,
Titans this year, not Titans last year, right? Titans this year, as they lost Derrick Henry. Yeah, they're trash.
yeah, we're talking about right now.
Browns last year had Flacco play and win games.
What about the Patriots? Patriots are pretty bad. I mean, it looks like they have a quarterback,
terrible, but Drake may look good.
Yeah.
You said
Yeah.
Jacksonville?
Rather than getting everything else. What about
Jacksonville? I'll give you Jacksonville because I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence.
what about the Raiders?
Raiders, they still had a decent end of the last season.
All right.
They still had a decent end of the 2023 season.
Yeah.
Tell me a team that's looked shit from start to finish. Like
We just
honestly,
gave you all of them.
I think people shit on Dable and they shouldn't. They really shouldn't. Dable has nothing to work with. The Giants should be finishing with 0 wins every fucking season. Every fucking season.
So the fact that they won 3 games this year is just brilliant coaching by Brian Dable. Like
I would say
brilliant coaching job.
Yeah, it's 100% brilliant coaching.
Yes. 100%. Yes.
So
if you put any other coach with the Giants for the past 2 seasons, they get 0 wins.
So Brian Dable's value is winning 3 games instead of 0.
Yes.
All right. I mean,
Sean
if that's what
McVay might be able to do that, but I honestly think that Brian Dable's just going to be tossed to the side because, hey, the team's just trash.
It's quite possible that he does get it's quite possible that if things don't improve that he gets fired after this year. I thought they were I kind of thought they were gonna fire him. I thought they were gonna fire him now, but or that maybe there was a case to fire him. I mean, but him and Joe Sheen are basically like a package deal. So I feel like, do you think they should fire their GM? Because I think if you're firing the GM, you probably have to fire the coach too.
You got him. This is the same thing the Jets did with Joe. We just fired Joe first. Well, no,
We
sorry,
fired Salah.
We fired Salah.
They're really,
Yeah.
the way I look at it, I think historically, for all intents and purposes, they were fired at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. I actually hope the Giants do fire him. Truly do, because he made the mistake of going to that team after the Bills. That was his mistake. There's nothing he can do with that team at all. But the fact that he actually gets wins, that's on him.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we lost Mo. So takeaways from this is GM doesn't matter, and Brian Dable's a good head coach.
I still believe he is.
Do you think
If he's not, what are you saying?
if he gets if Dable, like how many games do you think the Giants will win? I mean, they'll have like they'll have a pretty high pick.
I hope he gets fired.
You hope he gets fired. Do you think he'll get? Do you think he will get fired? Do you think the Giants will be bad enough next year? Now, remembering that they're going to have the opportunity to add talent to the team they have, they're probably, like they might, I think the Titans are definitely taking Cam Ward first overall. The Browns, I think, could take Shador Sanders. They could go quarterback, but they also might not go quarterback. So like Shador Sanders could be there for the Giants. We don't know. But like
Browns
right
now, Browns take Shador in my opinion.
Okay, so
the still there.
So the 2 first-round quarterbacks are gone. Giants, then that would probably leave the Giants taking Travis Hunter or whoever they believe is the best player in the draft. It could be Travis Hunter. It could be Abdul Carter, the edge rusher from Penn State. Those are probably like the consensus, like best players in this draft, like because it's not really a good quarterback draft. So they're gonna have the second overall pick. They're gonna have a very high pick in the second round. Like they're gonna have a lot of picks, and I'm sure their cap situation this year. I think they're gonna have a decent amount. They're gonna have a decent amount of. They're gonna have like $60 million in cap space. So they're gonna have some cap space and some assets to work with to improve their team.
Yeah.
Do you think that? So, do you think that the Giants will still? Do you think the Giants will still be bad enough that Dable will lose his job next year? And when
my issue with it is solely on the quarterback. It's not the fact that the quarterback has to be phenomenal.
What if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Giants?
I don't want to see that happen. I think Aaron Rodgers is washed. I think Aaron Rodgers needs to retire. I don't think he has another season ahead of him at all. So if he goes there, Dable's getting fired, especially if he's a part of that decision. I'd hope he's not. But if we're talking about a rookie quarterback, I'd give him higher chances.
Yeah, I mean that might be the one argument for that might be the one argument like for like Dable and Sheen is like they never got to get like their own quarterback. Like they but they also like they also made the decision to pay Daniel Jones. So like
which is stupid.
I think that's like a fireable offense.
I would look if Dable was 100% part of that decision, he's stupid.
I don't think he was. Decision. I'm sure. And like the Giants owner, he's not like as bad as Woody, but the Giants owner is pretty bad. Like he
Yeah.
definitely has some meddling and stuff going on too.
That's why I'm not putting that all on
but
fucking Dable. I'm
let's
not putting it on Dable.
for the purpose of this exercise, though.
Yeah.
Let's say that Dable does get fired. Let's say the Giants win like 4 games next year. It's not really improving too much, and they just decide, all right, like we got to cut bait and we got to start over. Do you think Dable?
I'd rather first off, I'd rather he gets fired before the season starts.
Before this season starts?
The next, yeah, the
Before
2025 season.
All right. Well, they already the Giants owner already said that he's retaining.
Yeah, I know, but I'd rather he gets fired before because I know he's gonna be blamed for a lot of fucking shit that happens.
So if he let's say for the purpose of this exercise that he does get fired, do you think that he'll get another head coaching job like next year? Yes. Or do you think he'll get
maybe not 2026 season, 2027? But, I believe people will at least interview him.
So you think maybe he steps away for a year or becomes like an OC for a year and then works his way back into head coaching
maybe. But I also don't think it's necessary that he has to do that. Like, yeah, I truly don't think Dable's a bad coach in general, which is what you need as a head coach. Like, fuck the fact that you can run the entire team. You need to be personable with every goddamn team, every teammate, everyone that's there, offense and defense. You're there for them. I think Dable's that type of character person, but at the same time, I don't mind his schemes. I don't mind his mindset as to what should happen. His problem is that he doesn't have an offense that can fucking do it. Yeah. With Josh, he had an offense that could do it. Josh Allen is a great quarterback, and I wish he wasn't in the fucking AFC East. Truly wish he wasn't.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Like Tom Brady's reign of terror over our lives, like the 20 years is finally over, and then we don't even get a break. It's just Josh Allen immediately.
He just comes in and is like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I'm not elite yet, and I'm still doing fucking elite work. Yeah. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah. No,
especially
I couldn't agree.
Especially the fact that we can't find a quarterback that can do that.
Yeah, we've tried so many and like just nothing seems to work. But so, I don't think we're gonna find our franchise quarterback this year. I think that 2026 is probably the year to try and do that. And I think that's gonna be like ultimately 2026 is gonna be a big year for this team. That's when we're probably gonna find out like who the new hopefully franchise quarterback's going to be and like what. And I think like the way 2026 goes, like with the draft and everything, I think that's going to dictate ultimately how the Aaron Glenn / whoever the GM is going to be, how their tenures will go, whether or not they will be successes or failures will hinge very largely on what happens in 2026 and if they are able to get a quarterback, whether it be draft or free agency, because there are no free agent quarterbacks like this year, which is why they might just end up, like running it back with Rodgers. Not saying that's the right move. I don't really think it is, but
I think that's the reason why we got Glenn.
You think we got Glenn to run it back with Rodgers? Or you think we got Glenn to tell Aaron Rodgers to fuck off?
Aaron Rodgers should retire. Like in respect for his career, he should retire.
I think that the way he probably views it is he probably thinks this was my year coming off of the Achilles injury, and I bet he
Yeah.
wants to prove that he could do better.
He's not. He's not. I will bet $1,000 right now that next season, if he's on any team, you can put him on the fucking Eagles, Lions, Chiefs. I don't
Steelers,
care. I don't care what
Lions,
team he's
Raiders.
on. He's not going to be efficient. Like, there are going to be multiple quarterbacks you'll look at like, yeah, I'd rather have him hiking the ball over Aaron Rodgers every game, every single fucking game. But Aaron Rodgers will never accept that until he literally gets injured again.
Yeah, I think if he gets another injury, like some major, like an Achilles, I think then he'll just be like, all right, I'm done. I don't think I think there was so much hype, and I think he put a lot into coming to the Jets. That
He
I think
did.
maybe he wanted to retire after he tore his Achilles. Maybe he knew like, hey, like this is. Maybe he
The
knew he
thing
was
is,
done, but he just wanted to come back because of like how much hype there was.
it's ego. It's ego.
Yeah, no, I'm sure a lot of it was ego too, and wanting attention. Like, hey, look at me, I'm gonna be back in like December.
Oh no, not only like the ego of like, yeah, no, you're gonna come back from an injury, you're gonna be playing for the Jets. It's ego to the point where he still thinks about fucking Brett Favre.
What, and like following in his footsteps?
Not following in footsteps, being better.
Well, he already had a much better career than Brett Favre.
He did, and he still chose to continue it.
Yeah,
He
maybe
still
he
chose.
maybe he thinks maybe he wants like the Jets part of his career to have a happier ending than the Brett Favre Jets part of his Brett
Yes,
Favre career.
he definitely. Look, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what's going on in his mind, but to me,
A lot of drug usage.
I'm 100% certain that Brett Favre was a part of his decision to come to the Jets. The fact that Brett Favre
like the fact
went
that
to
I was on the Packers this whole time, and like Brett Favre went to the Jets, and like it went well for a minute, but he couldn't really get it done, and then
he couldn't get it done.
He wanted to come to the Jets, and like you think he wanted to come to the Jets,
prove that he could do it. Prove that he could fucking do it.
The job that Brett couldn't.
Which is great. Like, that competitive spirit is fucking phenomenal.
But when you don't have the physical ability to match it, it doesn't matter.
And he doesn't. I don't know about you, like how you think about how he's played this entire season. I think he's worse than Brett Favre when Brett Favre was with the Jets.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think that Brett Favre, I don't know. It would be interesting to look at their statistics, like Brett Favre's 2008 season versus Aaron Rodgers 2024. But
yeah,
I mean,
in my opinion, like solely off an eye test,
Rodgers statistically had a better season.
Better. Yeah,
and Rodgers statistically had a better Jet season than Favre did. Favre had 3,472 yards. He had 22 touchdowns and 22 interceptions. He played a full 16-game season. Rodgers passed for like 3,800 yards. He had like 28 touchdowns, I think, and I think like 11 picks. But the Jets offense in 2008 was far more efficient than the Jets 2024 offense. I think it's easy to look at the numbers and in a vacuum and be like, all right, like it's easy to look at the numbers and in a vacuum and be like, oh yeah, no, like Aaron Rodgers wasn't the problem. Or, like people compare like Aaron Rodgers' stats to like Josh Allen's stats, but it's like you're ignoring it's like, okay. Now tell me what Josh Allen's rushing stats were versus Aaron Rodgers. We're at a point
different fucking time.
We're at a point where like mobility and being able to run as a quarterback matters, and Rodgers can't move.
100%. But Rodgers tried. He tried early in the season. He tried early in both seasons.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, last season he just fucking
It
got
ended
shit
before
on.
it ended before it could start. And
Well, that's
honestly,
the issue. That's the issue. That's why I think he's. Well,
in
I
a
don't
way,
think.
that was better. That was better than what we had to deal with this year.
Oh my god! I'm
And
glad.
I can't believe I'm saying that because, like,
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so fucking glad you said that because yes, that's 100% true. 100. Could you imagine he did get injured last season?
I think if he didn't get injured last season, I think
No, I think he's been done for a while. He wouldn't have been able to make the throw.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I
so
think
you think he been throwing dimes to Garrett last season?
Yes, I do. I do.
I don't think so.
I don't think
so at all.
I think the Achilles injury killed him. I think because in 2021 he won the MVP, but in 2020 in 2022 he lost Devontae and he dropped off. He did drop off a little bit, but I thought he could still. I thought he could still move. He could still sling it, and I think if I think it was kind of inevitable he probably would have gotten hurt in 2023 because that offensive line was atrocious. But I think had he stayed healthy, I think that I think he would have been really good, and I think we could have at least made the playoffs.
Yeah, on Green Bay, post fucking Devontae. How many throws did he have to make where he's either throwing on the run or he's just simply out of the pocket? How many did he have to create himself on that Green Bay team? Because to me, any Green Bay in 2020, is that when Devontae left? 22?
Yeah. So Devontae left after the 2021 season, which was his last MVP season.
So to me, watching any Green Bay game that fucking season, he's out the pocket. He's out of the fucking pocket trying to find someone wide open.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. But
I mean, I have to go back. I mean, from what I remember, because I was at the Jets-Packers game in 2022, and I think that game also played a big role in Rodgers' decision. I'm sure I'm not doubting that the Brett Favre stuff was part of it for him because he's very ego driven, and I'm sure from day one because Brett Favre kind of treated Rodgers like shit, coming into the league.
He did.
I think Rodgers made it his goal from day one. All right, I'm gonna be better than this fucking guy.
Yes, that's my fucking issue with him. That's why he came to the Jets.
I think that's definitely part of it. I think it's also
I think that's the sole reason.
It was a perfect storm. I think it was a perfect storm. It was that. It was the fact they got Hackett. I think it was also the fact that he wanted to go somewhere.
We got Hackett because he wanted to come here. We knew this is what he wanted. I
don't think they knew he wanted to come when they got Hackett. I think they got Hackett to lure him there. I think that.
Well, yes, it'll lure him there. There's no look. Hackett will never have an offensive coordinator job in the NFL ever.
No,
ever.
He might not get a job. Period. He might be like Adam Gase, out of the league after this.
Yes, 100%, and he should be because he's not a good fucking. He's not a good offensive coordinator at all.
Yeah,
so
why
did we get him? Why did we get him?
To lure Aaron Rodgers.
Got him. Yes, that's it. And why did Aaron Rodgers want to come to the Jets? Because of Brett Favre.
I think Brett Favre was one of the reasons. I don't think it's the only one.
I think that's the only reason.
I think it was Brett Favre. I think it was Nate Hackett. I think he also wanted to go
But
somewhere.
we only got Nate because we knew he would come here. That's it.
I think he also wanted to go somewhere where he would have control, where he could like play GM and like recruit people, because he couldn't do that in Green Bay.
Well, that's
they were
where
smart enough to not allow him to do that.
Yes,
we were
that's where
desperate enough and stupid enough to like show Hull. So I think there's a lot of parallels, definitely.
But the bottom line is that he had control.
So do you think that
and what he wanted?
So say the Vikings move on from Sam Darnold, because it looks like they're going to move on from Darnold now.
Unfortunate, but yeah.
Like, say they move on from Sam Darnold, and let's say they decide either that JJ McCarthy's not ready yet, or he has another setback with his injury. Do you think that do you think Aaron Rodgers really fulfills the prophecy and goes to Minnesota? Or do you think he would rather stay with the Jets and try and like finish the job?
No, I think he tries for Minnesota. I think he puts the option out there. Are they going to take him? I'd hope not. They'd be stupid to do.
I don't think they will. I think Minnesota's a smart enough organization at this point. I think that they will. I think that they will move forward with JJ McCarthy. But maybe if JJ McCarthy gets hurt, I think it's really.
Do you think Aaron doesn't put himself out there, saying, "Hey"?
100% he does. If Aaron Rodgers gets cut by the Jets, I don't think he retires. I think he sits on his couch and waits for someone to get hurt.
Oh yeah, no. He's gonna pull.
He'll be on Pat McAfee. And then anytime a quarterback gets hurt, he'll be on the Pat McAfee show, and he'll be like, "Hey, Minnesota, sorry, JJ McCarthy blew his knee out again. I'm available. I'm not doing anything."
Yes, 100%. But if he was a serviceable quarterback, look at Tom Brady. Would Tom Brady would he ever have to do that? When Mahomes retires, well, not as he retires. When he reaches like close to the end of his career, is he ever gonna have to do that? Is there any team that's gonna be like, yeah, no, I don't want Pat Mahomes?
No. I mean, it's hard to imagine.
Exactly. That's the fucking issue. I'd even say that about Jaden Daniels right now. I'd say that about fucking Jaden Daniels. Yeah. There's no single fucking team that's going to be like, yeah, no, I don't want Jaden Daniels. I don't want him. There's no team in the goddamn NFL that's thinking like, yeah, no, he's not beneficial to my team no matter his age.
Yeah, well, Father Time is undefeated, and everyone eventually.
True.
It comes for everyone. So eventually, like, there might come a point where Mahomes can't. There's going to come a point where Mahomes can't do it anymore.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's going to happen.
But I'm sure as long as he's like out there, and I think Mahomes will. It's very hard to project what's going to happen in the next like 10 to 15 years, but I think
he'll likely die a Chief.
Yeah, I think he'll die a Chief, and I think he'll end his career like far more honorably and with far more respect than Rodgers. Like Mahomes might even go out. Mahomes might even be one of the few people that gets to like go out a champion and like win a Super Bowl and then retire, like Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know if Mahomes will retire before his last championship. Because, look, man, the man's fucking phenomenal.
Wait, what do you mean retire before his last championship?
Like, I think Mahomes is going to win a championship and think he can win another.
And then kind of like what Brady did.
Yes.
Where he won the championship. They probably could have won another championship if Antonio Brown didn't go fucking full PPE at MetLife Stadium.
I agree with that. And then I think that was Brady's. Like Brady thought this was gonna be the last one, and then
the year after that, he could still play, but I think he was just done at that point.
Yeah,
I think he just knew like, yeah, I have all this like I have all these other opportunities in life just like waiting for me, and like, You know,
Yeah.
he like Todd Bowles was his coach. He's like, all right, fuck this.
There's a point where it's like, yeah, no. There's no point to continue it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Mahomes, well, actually, maybe not even unfortunately, because I don't think Mahomes and Andy Reid ever separate. So he's always gonna have Andy Reid there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when Mahomes fails.
Yeah.
And that's wild, man, because I wish we had a quarterback like that. God damn, I wish we had a quarterback that.
Yeah, I wish we could have literally anything nice. But you know what? It's the beginning of a new era. I'm gonna try and be cautiously. I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic.
Nah, I'm done with this new era bullshit. I'm done with that. I think we're relegated to where the Cowboys can reach. The Cowboys can win the NFC East. Maybe not now with Jaden, but
Yeah, I
for the
mean,
past decade of our lives, the Cowboys were
yeah,
always
they would
able.
win it every once in a while,
Yeah,
like every 2
that's
years.
that's the Jets' potential right now in our goddamn
That's our
lifetime.
ceiling. Well, hey,
That's our
man. I
ceiling.
mean, we haven't won a division since 2002, so I'd be pretty happy to see us win a division.
But that's our ceiling.
Yeah, no, obviously we want more.
Yes,
But
100
you gotta
percent
crawl before you
yes.
can walk. And I just,
But I don't think we're
I'm not,
capable of it.
but you're probably right, but I refuse to buy into the defeatist mentality on day one of Aaron Glenn being our head coach. I'm gonna try and be a little more optimistic. I'm not saying he's gonna like win us the Super Bowl or anything, but I think he can bring this organization back to a point of respectability. And I think that the people that are writing him off from the start are foolish.
I agree with you there. Yes, but my foolishness.
I'm
I
not saying
can't.
you are foolish or that you're writing him
Oh
off.
no! I'm just saying my personal foolishness understands that. Come on, to make it past a level of just simply our AFC East.
I can't wait until after the draft and the schedule drops when we do our predictions and you have us winning like 14 games like every year.
This might be the first season ever that doesn't happen.
All right.
Might be. Don't quote me.
Obviously, all right. Obviously, there's so much we have to see with free agency and the draft and
Yeah.
everything to come. But like, if I were to ask you right now, how many games do you think the Jets will win next year? Like, what would your answer be? 2. You think we go 2-15?
Yes.
What teams do you think we beat?
Oh, next season I'm not even certain which
We
conferences.
play.
Which divisions we play.
So obviously we play everyone in our division.
Yeah.
We play.
And I think we lose.
You think we lose?
That might be the only two, honestly.
Who?
The Patriots twice.
So you think we sweep the Patriots and lose to everyone else?
That might be the issue. I'm not certain which conferences we play next season.
Well, I think I can tell you.
Could.
So,
all right.
So we play. So obviously we play our division. I believe we play every team in the AFC North.
Those are all losses. All losses.
We play every team in the AFC North. We finished in 3rd place in our division. So we will play the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we will play the Denver Broncos.
Loss.
We play the entire NFC South.
That's where we have a chance.
Yeah, like maybe like the Saints or the Panthers.
Yeah, that's our only chance then.
And then we have the outlier NFC home game against the Dallas Cowboys.
Loss.
All right. So you're thinking
it could be Cooper Rush playing, we'll still lose.
Could be Trey Lance.
Honestly,
so you
it
think
could be Trey Lance.
it could be Shador Sanders. It could be Shador.
Yo, I
Who
would
knows?
honestly love to see that. I'm not saying they could do well, but I would love to see Shador drafted by the fucking Cowboys, and then they sign.
Deion Sanders is head coach.
I would love to see that happen. Honestly, truly love to see that happen.
Well, you'd love to see Shador go
Dion
to
in
the
the
Cowboys
fucking.
and Deion and
I would
Shador in
just love to
the
see.
NFL.
Yes, 100%. I would love to see that happen.
I think
Because
Dallas would be the place.
Dallas will be a place because come on, man, Dallas is a place for fucking a lot of bullshit.
It is.
But to see them try to fucking make it work, and if it works, oh, that'd be even more fun to see. I'm not a Dallas fan, but come on, if Shador and Dion are just doing work, that'd be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It could happen. It's not impossible. So you think
Not
we win?
impossible. I don't think likely.
So you think we win like 2 to 4 games next year?
I hope less.
Over 0 to 1.
I think we win 2 maximum. If Glenn wants to bring Aaron back, I think we get maybe 4 wins.
Okay. I think we'll probably. I think we win like 7 or 8.
7 or 8 off of.
Yeah.
Well, if you're saying we're playing the NFC South, like the whole NFC South,
yes,
that should be 3 wins. Honestly,
yeah,
3 wins.
at least 2. But anyway,
I think 3. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's
getting late. We've been doing this for way too long. Let's do our championship weekend picks and get on out of here. So I already know you're picking the Commanders, and I already know Mo is going to pick the Eagles. I'm actually going to ride with you, and I'm going to pick the Commanders.
Yo.
Let's do a score for the Commanders since there's only 2 games.
I'm down for that because it's definitely going to, if anyone's listening, bet the over. Bet the fucking over.
The over-under, I believe, is what is the over-under of this game?
My assumption is like 45, 46 and a half.
Oh, really? That's it? I thought it would be like at least in the 50s.
Right now, it's going to go up. Definitely. But I think right now it's probably around there. I haven't checked it out.
I'll tell you in a second. So the over-under is 47 and a half.
All right, I was close. I guarantee by the end of like before kickoff, it's probably going to be like 50, 51.
Yeah, I could see that. So what do you think the score will be?
Oh. No defense. Fucking. Let me say 40. Ooh, 40? Oh, goddamn. I put too much fucking pressure on God. Nah, fuck it. They got no defense. 45, 42.
All right. I'm gonna say it's a lower scoring game than that, but I think
That's fair.
I think it'll be Washington 34, Philly 28. Maybe it goes to overtime.
Good.
So we'd both take the over then.
Yeah.
I could also see it being like, but I don't know. I could also see this being like a 27-20 type of game. I don't
I
know.
don't think Washington has a defense to keep it that low.
Yeah. And like with Philly, it kind of depends. Like I feel like if it's a low scoring game, like if this is like a low scoring game, I think Philly wins. But if it's a shootout type of game, then Washington
Then
would
yeah,
win.
but I think it's going to definitely be a shootout type of game. That's how Washington plays. They know they're going to be scored against. So Jaden Daniels has to do work every
Yeah.
drive.
I mean
Every
that
drive.
game against that game against the Bucks was like kind of
Yeah. Yeah. It
like
was
it wasn't that high scoring.
it wasn't that high scoring. It had the potential to be where every drive you thought they had potential to score. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't just simply like 3-and-outs. It was actually like, yeah, no, you got stopped.
Right.
Yeah, Philly has a great defense, but I don't know. Jaden Daniels looks like what rookie Lamar should have looked like.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like rookie Lamar was kind of like I don't know. Rookie Lamar was like a weird situation.
He
I'll never
was a
forget.
running back. He was a running back is what
Yeah,
he was.
but if you treat Lamar's first full year starting versus Jaden Daniels' first full year starting, like kind of similar.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you there. But it's also part of the game plan of the Ravens are like, yeah, we're just going to use it for running.
Do you think there's a possibility that next year that Jaden Daniels could experience some regression?
You know,
Teams
if
get
you
film
ask
on him,
if you asked me this last season, I would have said hell no, no fucking way. But I look at fucking CJ Stroud
Yeah.
and I'm like, how did you regress to this point? CJ Stroud doesn't look like the rookie that he was
Right. Yeah. No,
at all.
totally different. Well,
Which sucks.
hopefully, if and when that does happen, hopefully he acts. Hopefully people act normal about it.
Nah, definitely not happen. But I also don't think. Look, what makes I hate saying this. Damn it. What makes Jaden possibly better than fucking Lamar is how he's handled his rookie season. How, yeah, no, he does run. Granted, the Ravens just used him as a running back the first season. It's the fact that Jaden Daniels understands the game better than Lamar did his rookie season. And he's using that to his advantage with no defense at all and still winning games. So for Jaden to win this upcoming game Sunday, it's purely an offensive football game for him. He's not putting any blame on his fucking defense. It's just simply anytime you got the ball, we got to get a field goal or into the end zone. And that's why I think they're going to fucking beat the Eagles. I really hope they do. It's going to be tough for them, but I think they do beat them. It'll be a close game, high scoring game.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely think they have a chance. And it would be really cool to see the Commanders in the Super Bowl because we just saw the fucking Eagles in a Super Bowl like 2 years ago.
2 years, yeah.
And granted, that was a really good Super Bowl, that Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl, but I don't know.
No, it was great rather than watching the Eagles do absolutely nothing in the second half.
Yeah, we need some new blood though. So go commies, and then in the AFC Championship game,
I
we have
hate
City Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, and the Buffalo Bills.
Chiefs took it away.
I agree. I'm like definitely nervous about it, but I think the Chiefs will probably. I think it'll probably be a typical Chiefs game where it's very close the whole time, and then they pull off some black magic. Honestly, the Bills will probably get fucked over by a call that just like I'll be happy that the Chiefs won and that the Bills are out of it, and I don't have to watch the Bills in the Super Bowl. Famous last words.
I
But
honestly don't want.
but there'll probably be a call that's like super egregious to the point where like I feel like dirty.
Yes, that happens for most Chiefs games that we watch.
Yeah,
But
it's pretty blatant at this point.
we got the fucking Bills doing the same fucking shit. I just can't fathom the Bills making the goddamn Super Bowl. Well,
I mean,
not that I can't. I don't want to fathom them making the goddamn Super Bowl.
I don't want to, and I can't fathom it unless it happens. And if it does happen, I don't know what I'm gonna do, to be honest. I'll just
some
for
bullshit.
whoever the NFC champion is. So what do you think the final score?
Should have been the fucking Ravens. Should have been goddamn Lamar. Final score. Yeah. Yo, honestly, fuck Mark Andrews. Not only because he dropped that fucking easy pass, the fact that he came out and said, I'm going to the Chargers next season.
Wait, what? Andrew said he's going to the Chargers
next season.
He said that?
That's just what I fucking read. That it's basically a guarantee that he's going to the fucking Chargers next season.
Oh,
Am I wrong about that? Because that's
what
I read. I think it's absolute fucking bullshit. But
I don't know if he said anything, but
I read an article where he. It's not that he said he's going there.
Is it this Mark Andrews all but guarantees he will leave Ravens for Chargers in 2025?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm reading that article now. Actually, I'm looking for a quote, but yeah, it sounds like
clickbait.
It seems like I think the not that it's clickbait. It seems like the article. The way the title of the article is clickbait, but it seems like there could be some smoke to it. It seems kind of like more like speculation. Like the Ravens don't really have cap space, and they have Isaiah Likely. It doesn't make sense for them to keep him. And
yes, that was my gist of it. Where
he's
not being used, and
but there's no
why.
But yeah, I don't think he actually like said anything about.
All right, that's good then. That's good because I don't understand why he'd fucking leave.
Yeah, I mean, if I do find any quotes where he actually said anything about it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I didn't honestly. I didn't see a quote. I read that article. Well, I skimmed through that article to try to see is this fucking real.
Yeah.
And also, it was like, there's that easy possibility, which I can understand. But
Hmm.
if you're running away from your fucking mistake, I'm not a fan. Not a fucking fan. Because
Yeah.
honestly, he's the reason why the Chiefs will likely three-peat.
Yeah, most likely. It feels like with all the black magic and stuff, it kind of just seems like the Chiefs are inevitable. But
I don't
so
want to
I
see
think
that
we're
happen.
so it sounds like we're both picking the Chiefs. I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
As much as I don't want to see that happen, I would rather see
The
I
Chiefs
would
win over the yes, 100%.
I
Yeah.
would rather see the Chiefs. I'd rather see the Chiefs win 10 more Super Bowls than see the Bills get one. I'd rather see the Chiefs play in the next 10 Super Bowls than see the Bills play in one. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck. And honestly, if you think otherwise, you're just like we're just different.
Yeah.
You're not as good of a Jet fan as I am, and that's just the truth. That's just
Nah,
the truth.
100%. I agree with you. I like if the Chiefs make it the goddamn Super Bowl. I don't care. Ooh, it's on the NFC side. I'm rooting for them. I'm
Yeah.
fucking not sorry, not the Chiefs, the Bills though. If the
Oh yeah.
Bills,
100%.
if they beat the fucking Chiefs, I'm rooting for whoever is on the NFC
Yeah.
side.
If it ends up being Chiefs Eagles, who are you gonna root for?
Oh, Chiefs, Eagles. God
Yeah.
damn.
The Eagles would be the team that knocked your boys. Knocked the boot.
Yeah.
You're kind of a Jaden Daniels stan, so like, I mean,
Yes, 100%. I completely think Jaden Daniels has this game on lock as long as he plays the precision football that is not is not normal for rookie quarterbacks.
yeah,
But fuck, man, if they lose and it's Eagles Chiefs, no, sorry, Eagles Bills.
no, I'm saying if it's Eagles Chiefs, who are you gonna root for?
Oh, Eagles Chiefs. Fuck. I'll probably root for the Chiefs there.
Yeah, I think I might root for the Chiefs too if it's Eagles,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Financial motives, gambling could also influence this decision.
Oh,
Um,
100%. 100%.
but yeah, but we'll see. But yeah, what do you think the final score for this game is going to be? Bills Chiefs.
2017.
2017. Yeah, I could see that. I'll go a little bit higher. I'll go. I'll go Chiefs. Chiefs 24. Bills 22.
All
Don't ask
right.
how they get to 22. They just will.
You
But
never know what the gambling gods want because these motherfuckers ran it back at the goddamn end zone for 2 less points.
that's right. They did. And that yeah, what game was that again? That was the Chiefs game. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
yeah, and that fucked up the spread.
That
The
fucked up a lot of people's spread.
Texans covered on that play. Yep. Thank
Yeah,
God.
it's wild.
Thank God I didn't bet
Uh,
the spread in that game.
oh, definitely, definitely. I had a partner that did bet on that, but he bet it when it's at 8.5.
Okay, so he didn't get fucked over.
No, literally by half a fucking point, he was good. He
Yeah.
was still good, made money,
Thank God for that.
and shit. And that's
All right.
why, come on, you got to bet on the right team.
Yeah. Well, luckily for this game, the spread's only 1.5, so it's not too much. Who knows? You know what? I'm going to say the Chiefs win 24-23, actually. So the Bills cover.
Okay, that's probably more likely than my expectation, where the Bills just falter. I'm sorry, not the Bills. The fucking Chiefs just falter.
Yeah.
and I truly hope they do. I'm just not. I'm not expecting it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode.
Yeah,
Aaron Glenn's the new head coach, like it or not.
yeah, it
Uh,
is.
GMs don't matter, and yeah, that's
I'd hope so.
pretty much it. I guess we'll be back next week, and hopefully by then, we have a GM hiring to discuss. So thank you all for if you've gotten this far with us, and unlock the swag forever.
That's why I'm locks.
Peace.